real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Alexis Taylor says she and the defendant bonded over the fact that they both suffer from chronic pain, and they became good friends. Alexis says she allowed the defendant to move in with her when she was on the verge of being homeless, but she's suing her today for rent and damages. Defendant Jennifer Christian says she has suffered from chronic pain since 4th grade, and she thought living with Alexis would be a good idea. However, she claims Alexis treated her more like a servant than a roommate.
Young lady, you're suing your former friend for $2,900 for rent and damages?
That is correct.
All right. Is your mother's place or something? Or?
No, it's mine. So
you look about 10. How old are you?
I'm 27.
Really? Well, you're going to look 27 at 100.
I appreciate it.
Congratulations. All right, well, it may not be great. Ain't nothing wrong with being old, looking old. You're starting to look old. Ain't nothing wrong with it, is it?
No.
Oh, so I am starting to look old.
Oh, no.
So why'd you answer the question?
There's nothing wrong with
You had to acknowledge that I do to say there was nothing wrong with it.
I apologize.
You apologize because I look old?
Because you don't look old.
So you apologize 'cause I don't look old. All right. You're all right now. I had to figure that one out.
Plaintiff Alexis Taylor allowed the defendant to move in with her, but the defendant claims Alexis treated her more like a servant than a roommate.
How do you know your former friend who you're suing for rent and damages?
Yes, so we met in 2016 because we both deal with chronic pain issues, and it's hard to go through, in and of itself,
Like
let alone...
What, back, or I'm just curious?
Oh, no, it's in my legs. I have neuropathy.
Oh, okay, neuropathy.
Yeah, so it's really hard, to deal with chronic pain by yourself, but to find somebody who's dealing with the same kind of problems and, to be real close, that's something great to have. And so we met, and by 2018, she came to me saying she was on the verge of being homeless. And I've been homeless before.
No, I didn't tell her that.
But between the ages of 18 to 21, I was by myself, in and out of different friends' houses and homeless shelters.
How did that happen to you?
Well, I didn't have a really good home life and just bad situations, one right after the other.
It's impressive that you were able to have somebody owe you.
Right.
Some rent, so
right.
You did something right.
So then in 2018, she came to me, she told me she was on the verge of being homeless. I'm not going to let somebody who I look
Your
at
Honor,
as a
I was
friend,
never going to be homeless.
let alone
She had asked...
Well, let me get her background, then we'll get back to that point.
We had a conversation because we both share our chronic pain and we both know how hard it is to get our day-to-day activities, but she didn't have a roommate at that time. And we had met and we both bonded over our pain that we had, because not a lot of people understand it, nor can they see it. So if you don't see it, a lot of people don't believe it. So we thought it would be a great idea that she has an open room and we can both help each other out on our bad days and our good days so that we can still feel good.
So some days you feel more pain than others?
Yes. And
this is neuropathy.
That's hers. I have osteochondromas, so they're bone tumors that grow on my bone, but I've dealt with this since...
How old?
My first surgery was 4th grade.
How old
but
were
it's hereditary.
you when yours was discovered?
Mine was discovered at the age of 15.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But she's incorrect in how the notion this came about. When she came to me saying...
We're not talking about that no more. Talking to her about her situation. So folks, folks want knowledge out here. They don't want to just go ahead and hear y'all story. Well, I think they want to know. I didn't know much of what we were saying here today. So I'm smarter than I was.
Thank you.
You all are making people smart. Let us make people smart. All right, so they can be like me, go around acting like a know-it-all. Go ahead.
But so we had, we became friends. Everything seemed, we just meshed really well. We understood each other. So we were like, how could this not work? So it was agreed that I wasn't going to pay if I was going to cook and clean and take up. But once I had gotten there and I noticed that she wasn't picking up ever. And it slowly became as a help you through your day-to-day to, she was treating me like a servant. That I was an employee that she didn't want to pick anything up, ever. No matter what it was, if she touched it and took it out, I was to pick it up.
She's in pain on those occasions. Let me hear your side on this now. Tell me about the rent and the damages and the agreement to cover for them.
So the agreement was, when I decided that she could live with me and be my roommate, was that until she found employment, she would do the cleaning and the cooking while I'm at work. And it came time that, after a while, she wasn't keeping up her end of the bargain. That's where the issues came up.
Now, what amount of rent was that to be in exchange for?
Half of the rent would be $600.
So $600 was the amount of upkeep she was to have with the household?
I looked at her like she was my sister. I was able to.
She didn't act like it, Your Honor. I was more of her servant than a sister.
And I don't agree.
How many hours you think you put in at work?
All the time.
Work?
There was, whenever I was home, I was always picking up. I felt like I did all the picking up and cleaning and cooking compared to what she ever did.
That was the agreement, I thought.
Well, it's to an extent to where...
Did you tell her?
Well, we had conversated. Like, I said, listen...
So don't get too nasty. You can be a little nasty.
Well, yeah.
But not a lot. Just on Friday.
Fridays go crazy.
Go ahead.
But I told her, I was like, listen, I think, you're taking a little bit of advantage of me, or you're maybe getting a rise out of this to see me go around and just clean all the time.
Little bounce in that step.
I just wanted
to... your step. I'm sorry, that's adorable. I would.
Well, he can live with her, maybe.
There you go.
Give it a shot.
I got an open room now.
That's right, and he cleans up pretty well, from what his wife tells me. All right, because he has a double job. He doesn't have room for you guys. His wife works him pretty good, as do we. All right.
Plaintiff Alexis Taylor allowed the defendant to move in with her, but the defendant claims Alexis treated her more like a servant than a roommate.
You all would talk about it, and what would she say when you brought it to her attention?
She seemed like she would take it positively, like she was going to put in some effort to not keep all of her stuff out, or her cook maybe sometimes and not have me cook all the time. Or if I had a bad day, how come I can't sit down and elevate my
Because you have an agreement.
Well, that was too much, and it got worse and worse, and she wouldn't even get the stuff in the garbage can. So am I supposed to pick up around the garbage can?
Now, ma'am, you wouldn't even throw the stuff away. You'd put stuff near the garbage can and wouldn't even put it in.
She was getting a rise.
Of course not.
A rise out of me, Your Honor.
She's really taking the things that she's saying happened personally. None of that
Did she ever mention these things to you?
No, not at all. And then when she started having issues or whatever she was thinking about, she just started just not being there.
There's only so much somebody can.
So let's add up the rent. What month? Because you're suing for $1,200 in rent and $1,700 in damages.
What?
Let's start with the rent.
Yes.
What month?
So for the months of February and March of 2019.
And did you have to evict her, or did you all come to an agreement? You had a month to month? What were the circumstances?
She just left by her own means. I have texts on pages 2 and 3 of me making sure that she was okay and if she was going to be back, and her responses, and when I asked for money for the damages.
She was being very mean that day.
Hey, if you're not planning on staying for the month, just let me know, because I haven't seen you in a few days. I'm just worried about you. That's her to you, ma'am. And you say, that and you. I don't care what you talking about. I'm in the house now. By the time you get home, I'm gone, laughing at her.
She knew I was leaving, though, Your Honor. We had gotten into a big fight. And I told her I couldn't.
You the dumb one. Maybe think twice before you get another roommate. I'm not going to give you a cent. Take me to small claims. You'll pay for it in lawyers. Have fun.
It was a dirty house, Your Honor.
And what's the damages for?
When I walked in one of my days coming off of work with the sink messed up, the hammer to the cabinets. She poured sticky juice all over.
After she left?
Yes. She poured sticky juice all over my floors. It went under the floors
a lie.
and it
I just
molded.
didn't pick up for like a couple of days.
She got mad. And she decided to retaliate.
No retaliation. I just got lazy, and that's why I was in and out.
Evidence of that?
In pages 4 and 5, I have the damages as well as the amount that I had to pay.
Okay, but show me something where you ask her to reimburse under the assumption that you believe she did the damage.
So
And she did it intentionally, so certainly you should have said something to her.
Right. On page 2, where it says March 5th, 2019, I sent her a text regarding needing the rent as well as all of the things that she had messed up.
Yep, look, I need the rent. I already have to fix everything you messed up. The floors are terrible, the ceiling tiles are out, the sink is unusable. We have an agreement. I don't understand why you would do this to me. You say, you're the dumb one, maybe think twice. Yeah, ma'am.
Well, we had a full-blown conversation, and all this had to do, it was a simple, that she was sorry and that she wasn't trying to get the rise out of me.
Sorry about? What did she do to you? Maybe I'm missing something. What did she do to
She
you?
full-blown took advantage of me. I was supposed to be her servant. It went from just minimal cleaning and cooking to cleaning her room, cleaning up after her in the bathroom.
Well, what I do know, ma'am, what I read is that not only did you damage the property and laugh in her face, you also laughed in her face about staying there for free. You called her dumb. You said, next time you'll think twice. I ain't giving you a dime. Take me to court. And she did. She took you to court and she won. $2,900.
All I wanted was sorry and that we could be friends again.
Well, hopefully we can get through this and get past this, because like I said, I've always looked to you as family, and I didn't want it to get this far.
I thought
I love
we were
you.
family, and I thought that you respected me, and I thought that this was going to be a friendship forever, and you totally took advantage of me the wrong way.